Welcome to Planet Vrilock, your Psionics Digerati podcast, hosted by Herr Doktor von Vrilock, speaking. Lords and ladies, I bid you welcome. I'm going to talk about the essence and power of color for magic and psionics. So without further ado, let us begin. I first discovered the influential power of color when I was a kid. I had an instinctive or an intuitive sense about color, and one of the things that I would do was to categorize my class subjects by color. So for history, I might choose a gray or black notebook, and for math or grammar studies, I would choose a yellow notebook, and so on. You know, social studies, I would choose like a light blue or a green notebook, and I think one time I used a purple notebook for social studies in class. Anyway, these colors, nobody taught me what these colors mean. I simply had an intuitive sense for these colors. It wasn't until some many years later, when I was performing a various series of meditative exercises and working on awareness exercises, I should say, that I beheld a yellow web of light, and I experienced my mind advance years and years into the future, sort of like becoming all grown up overnight, essentially. So I experienced what my mind would be like some decades into the future, what it feels like. And this is something difficult to describe, especially if most people haven't really bothered to sit down and meditate and sense what their minds currently feel like. So you need a reference point to start with, of course. So what you feel like now and how you think in general. There's a certain psychic sense wrapped around this, kind of like the sense of smell or the sense of presence, something that is occupying a space in the space-time continuum. Now, hopefully I didn't just lose you there. I know it's a deep subject when you get into things like awareness and presence and so on, because it's so elusive to the greater majority of people. But when you look at cats and dogs, they got it pat down. Yeah. They don't need to analyze it. They feel it. They understand perfectly. Or for cats, we might say they understand perfectly. Nature's perfection, yes. Moving on, I was going to tell you about how this yellow magic evolved for me. And yes, I did publish a book on this topic. It's all about intelligence magic and sigils and amplifying these sigils with two-dimensional patterns, and then the stepping up to another dimension of energy patterns using the telepathy rod, which I will talk about that a little more in my newer book, the Vrilock Practical Guide VPG-1. It's known as the Metaphysics of Self-Mastery. There is a shorter version of this book in audiobook format called the Magic Rod, which you may listen to that book at vrilock.club. Anyhow, My older book was called Yellow Magick, and it's still available on Amazon.com. So if your Kindle is hungry for Yellow Magick, go and feed it. I think it's a couple bucks, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can read it for free. God damn it. Amazon keeps giving away my books for free. Everybody does. Anyway, so Yellow Magick, what it does for you is it gives you inspiration. It inspires your mind. It removes depression and enhances your ability to study. But it also does more than this. Yellow, that protective color around the crown chakra, which wards away all the negative thoughts, also improves your telepathic abilities. So, now, in 2024, as of yesterday, I created an app for Yellow Magick. Yeah, I created a web app for Yellow Magick. It's called the Yellow Element Teleflasher, and it's inside the club at vrilock.club. So club members may now log in and use this app, along with some other apps, the numeranim that I've created to make visualization and formulation in Magick a simple piece of cake to operate this stuff. I mean, it's so simple. People I know are using this all the time and getting some results. So you'll want to use that app as well. And then my QR code app, which I teach you how to use that with the world circuit radio, how to build that at home. It's very, very easy to build a world circuit radio, and it outperforms most of these standard radionic boxes online. It's a simple analog radio converted into a world circuit radio. And it's so incredibly simple, you probably haven't thought of it before, but understanding how to use it requires your presence in the club. Now, what you will receive after becoming a club member is much more than this. You will receive discounts up to 50% off on select items in the club. So if you really want some magical items or knowledge, get in the club and get those items now. You also have access to 5+ years of audio lectures, how-to videos, and so much more, including a beginner's page full of references, audio and video archives, documents that are not public, that are only sold inside the club. My personal journals and letters from my former mentor, Charles Casamano, are also available for purchase in the club shop. And you have a projects page showing the past projects we've done in groups and as partners and individuals for making changes in the world. And you also have access to the apps page, where I am continuously building my own apps, hand coding these and putting them inside of my Psionics Club. Plus you get to have a personalized messaging system with Herr Doktor von Vrilock and my staff. Whenever you have a problem, a technical issue, or questions about the content in the club, you may use this messaging system to inquire or express interest in certain fundamentals and various topics that are not in the club, or on topics that are in the club that you need to have more understanding of. Or if you didn't understand something in a lecture, you can contact me. And that's pretty cool. So you get all of that and a whole lot more. As for what I have done personally with all this psionic stuff, I do have a resume at vrilock.com/bio, and that's down there. If you scroll down there, there should be a link to my magical resume. And I've podcasted about so many of the successful manifestations and influences around the world, which continue to this day. On a side note, I just wanted to let you know, if you purchase a Vrilock multimedia experience drive, that is the VMX drive, you receive all video courses, all audiobooks on one really badass dual USB drive with the Vrilock emblem and keychain. When you have devoured these video courses and audiobooks, you begin to understand how much you can do from your home office, your living room, to influence reality and the world and smooth your road of life. You know, it's like the other day I had so many thoughts in my mind, and instead of sitting there jotting down the pros and cons and being all logical about it, I put my helmet on that I build at home, my very own helmets for psionics. And these are essentially based on the amplifier pattern on these helmets. So I put this on, and it's sort of like the antenna and the amplifier are working together to pull certain thoughts out of my mind and put other ones in and bring into focus for me the thoughts I have, the concerns I have, and putting everything into perspective for me. My brain's like working on overdrive half the time as an entrepreneur, that it's nice to be able to put on my helmet and have a clear sense, a clear perceptive of the things I'm interested in or concerned about, and then receive clarity and coherency in the feedback from my helmet. And this all has to do with Awesome Amplifiers, my video course, which is also included in the VMX drive. And of course, you know, like I said, if you need to get your mind freed up from all the worries, reduce the depression, and refocus and find inspiration, heighten your creativity, or prepare to study or do some lengthy reading, this yellow magic energy is very good for this, and you can benefit from both the VMX Drive course material, and then in the club, just go ahead and use the Yellow Element Teleflasher to recalibrate your mind. And that's it. The world, your life, reality, this so-called matrix reality, becomes so much easier to manage because you are placing yourself into a position of control. And with that, I leave you to your thoughts. Lords and ladies, thank you so much for listening to my show. And until next time, as always, keep the magic high. Herr Doktor, command.